Welcome into the American Huddle alongside college football analyst Andy Gresh. I'm Haley Outen. We're happy to have you with us on a Wednesday night as we look forward to two crucial matchups in the American, Thursday night and Friday night, when we look ahead to the conference championship. Andy, let's start off by talking about Thursday. Tulane at Houston, an 8 p.m. Eastern kick on ESPN. Houston has suffered back-to-back losses against SMU and Temple. What do the Cougars have to do to get back on track?
Well, they got to play some semblance of defense, and I know Ed Oliver in and out of the lineup has been a big problem, and as it would be really for any team in college football. So maybe you get him right for down the stretch in some of these big games. They need that presence in the middle of the Houston defense. Haley, they're scoring plenty of points. I mean, I looked it up today. They're 49% are Houston on third down. That's ridiculous. I don't know how Tulane stops that. Tulane got big passing yards out of the young quarterback McMillan last week. He's going to have to play great because D'Eriq King may just end up being the conference player of the year. Seems like every time you turn around, it's anywhere from 3 to 6 touchdowns a game for him because we know Houston scores a ton. I like the Cougs in this matchup. I know Tulane's playing a better brand of football. I just don't know if Tulane has the ability to score in the 40s and 50s if need be against the Cougs.
Perfect segue. Let's talk about the Tulane defense because you mentioned Houston's offense putting up so many points this season, and they're averaging over 40 points a game. In fact, they've scored over 40 points a game except for one time this season. Tulane coming off of an effort where they had 20 pass breakups against ECU. How can they carry that momentum into this game at Houston?
Well, I think it's going to be a little different going against D'Eriq King and the way that ball comes out. It comes out quicker. I think it's a better trajectory in terms of the ball that King throws versus Ehlers down at ECU. But at the end of the day, they got to get off on third down, and they got to make sure that if they can bring D'Eriq King down, they get him down in the backfield. There have been too many plays relative to defenses who've played against Houston this year where they're close and he wiggles out. The next thing you know, it turns into a 10-yard play or a 15-yard play or a touchdown run because he's, they play the yakety sack from Benny Hill and he's running around all over the place. So for me with Tulane, yeah, they got to get their hands on footballs. They got to get their hands on D'Eriq King and get him down on the ground.
Both Tulane and Houston with 2 conference losses, so a must-win if either of these teams want to see themselves in this conference championship on December 1st. Let's take a look at Friday night as Memphis hits the road to SMU, another must-win situation for both of these teams. How do you expect the Tigers to come out in this matchup on the road?
Well, I think they're going to come out trying to pound the ball and run it. I mean, why wouldn't they? They have one of the best running games in all of college football, let alone in the American. And, some of the stuff that I jotted down, both teams sort of can play to each other's styles a little bit in that we know Memphis can pound it and run, but if they want to fling the beam with Brady White, they have the ability to do so, and we know that's what SMU is going to do. So I would expect SMU to kind of spread Memphis out, try to throw it. I know Memphis is going to run the ball, but at some point, let's say they get down, they're going to have to rely on the quarterback and get away from that run game. So I think for Memphis, the formula is pretty simple. Make sure you're in the game early. Don't let SMU jump out on you. And if Memphis can get a 14-point lead, they can just turn around and run the ball most of the day, and that's when they're at their best.
For SMU, we've talked about how they control their destiny when it comes to the conference championship, but also a chance to clinch bowl eligibility in head coach Sonny Dykes' first season. How much confidence does this group need to come out with on Friday night?
I think a ton, and I think they've got it right now. Their coach is riding high. The team has responded to him. They've settled in on a quarterback, and I think they're letting Hicks kind of really run the day there, which to me is what they needed to do. Go with one leader and let everybody grow together, and it's paying dividends here down the stretch. SMU is a great story. I never would have put him in this position. God bless them. Let him go. And the thing that SMU should do, Haley, hold nothing back. They have nothing to lose in this game. I know everybody's going to think about bowl eligibility and things of that nature. Yeah, you want to win, but if that means emptying the tank and throwing the kitchen sink at them, go ahead and do it because SMU has nothing to lose.
2 great matchups to look forward to as we head into Week 12 of the college football season. A lot on the line. All these teams with the conference championship on their mind. We'll be back here Saturday morning for another episode of the American Huddle. We'll see you then.